For the record, Clint Bentley, Henderson, Nevada. Thank you, Chairman Rob, Commissioners, for giving me the opportunity to speak today. As been well expressed here by all the previous testimony, this is a very highly emotional issue, and what I'd like to remind everyone here is that if you take the emotions out of the issue and that you just look at the issue itself, that it is a very important management tool to leave the ability to hunt with hounds in the bear hunt. And therefore I would recommend that you deny the petition. Thank you very much.
Paul Dixon.
For the record, Paul Dixon, Chairman of the Clark County CAP. I was absent the last commission meeting because I was working, and I sent my Vice Chair, Mike Reese, to meet with you guys. So when we brought this petition back up at the Clark CAB on Tuesday, and Jeremy was there, Karen, and Bill, the commissioners were all there, there was basically no public comment that was new that hadn't been testified on before, with the exception of one thing, and that one thing was Vicki Werner at Werner Taxidermy asked people that she knew, both sportsmen and non-sportsmen, general public, and asked the question, you know, whether or not hounds should be allowed to be used to hunt bear in an ethical manner so that you could meet harvest objectives type of question. And I compared that initially, and then not really the houndsmen were going to bring in 1,300 signatures, I compared that to the poll, the Mason-Dixon poll, which had 600 and some people polled. It wasn't clear whether you had sportsmen or not. They told you whether or not they're Republican or Democrat, male or female. It didn't tell you whether or not you even polled one sportsman. And there was only 600 people, and they say that represents Nevada. The houndsmen had, from one town, more signatures out of one area. That's probably more demographically representative of the cross-section. The point being is that the 102 signatures that Vicki got was from a cross-section of people who were both general public, hunters and non-hunters, and would ask the right question, not a question of use packs of dogs to viciously kill animals and, you know, tree them and kill them. If you ask them to basically use hounds in order to meet harvest objectives, you get a different answer. So it's all in the question that's asked. And so I wanted to state for the record that, you know, there's been a lot of testimony about the poll that represents Nevadans, and it doesn't represent Nevadans. 675 does not represent a state of 3 million, first off. I don't care how you look at it in public. And number two, the question that was asked was biased. And the biased question, you're going to get a biased answer. And I think all of you as commissioners are smart enough to know that. And I will say that Vicki Werner and her family are staunch supporters of the Humane Society, and they do that because they believe in the ethical treatment of animals and other things. Even though they run a taxidermy shop, people might believe the opposite of that. They're very, very humane people. And so for her to do that and to take the time to do that, I think she should be applauded, and so should her family. Thank you.
Brooks Flowers.
Rex Flowers, representing Washington County Advisory Board. We voted unanimously against the petition. Would ask that the commission vote against the petition. This petition is very specific to delete wording that's in a NAC. It's not asking for somebody to come back with any other new wording. It's specific to deleting wording, and it means no use of hounds for bear hunting. Thank you.
That was all the cards I had for item number 5. Is there anyone who's come in that didn't fill out a card that wants to provide testimony under item number 5?
Yeah, you just presented that you were the petition presenter. If you want to provide public testimony on it, come on up.
Kathy Smith, Reno, Nevada. I just wanted to say that first, there is no good data that shows that indiscriminate hunting decreases human-wildlife conflict or wildlife damage unless the objective is to significantly reduce the population, which is not the case in Nevada's goal. Hounds will still be legal for depredation. There is well-documented data that demonstrates no change in sex-kill ratios with either baiting or hounding, and there's a published study regarding Virginia houndsmen that found that they could not determine the sex of 40% of the bears they treed. There are no large studies with statistical significance that demonstrate hounding does not affect the bear preparing for hibernation. And the 2 studies I sent you guys earlier I've shown, and if you have any others, I would love to see them because I looked extensively. The only other thing I'm going to comment on is the consistent mentioning of the slippery slope argument that was discussed today. And as an analogy, there are many turf wars in medicine which often threaten my subspecialty. What helps me decide on the best course is to look at the objective, which in my case is doing what's right for the patient. Not really what's going to do best for me, my group financially, but doing what is right for the patient. So often, doing what is right with the patient involves collaboration with other subspecialties, which can potentially lose business. In most businesses outside of wildlife management, diversity of stakeholders is desired because we can learn from each other working together. Similarly, in decisions of wildlife management, it isn't really about what sportsmen or houndsmen may or may not lose. Well, at least it should be. It should be about the wildlife. It should be about the bear. We should never forget we are here about the bear. It's not about our rights. It's not about our culture. It's not about making our dogs happy. This is not about us. It's about what is best for our collective wildlife. It is about what is best for our iconic black bear. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Again, that's all the comment cards that I had, unless we missed someone that came in late, or some of the cabs that maybe don't have a card.
I'm Barnes, Elko County Cab. We addressed this issue at our December meeting, and I believe you received letters, or a letter from our County Wildlife Advisory Board at the last meeting, but we addressed it again just the other day at our most current meeting, and the motion was that we adamantly oppose the petition.
Corey.
For the record, Corey Lytle, Lincoln Cab, just to reiterate, we voted on this previously. We voted on it again at our last meeting. We voted to oppose the petition. I don't want to repeat a lot of the points that have been said. One thing I do want to kind of stress is, you know, unfortunate incidents, they do often get glorified one way or the other, and we want to keep our eye on the target, so to speak. It's an effective management tool, and something that we need to work towards for a few years before we try to start reinventing the wheel on this. It's proven as an effective management tool, and I think we need to stick with it.
Any other county advisory boards? Come on.
Larry Allen, Humboldt County. The motion was made in our meeting to deny the petition and passed unanimously.
Okay. Any other county advisory boards? Seeing none, that closes the public comment portion of this agenda item. And